Sometimes I feel like living. Sometimes I feel.
Welcome to Wild Child Records. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. We're very excited today. Today we have for our first time in the studio down here in Toronto, Witchwood Barns, Artscape. Come down and check us out. We're all about supporting artists, whether you're an emerging artist, independent, or mainstream. We're here to support you. We love live music. We love going to events. But what we love is having the first time on our platform a music composer. We have Jim LaFrancois. I love your name, Jim.
Merci.
A composer. Now, this is maybe a little too highbrow for our show, so I'm going to have to step up my game a little bit with Jim here.
Okay, we'll see how you do.
So this is great. So Jim is also connected to the health world like we are. So Jim, can you tell us a little bit about your connection, and then we'll get into your fabulous music career?
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like my career these days it straddles sort of two worlds. There's obviously, I come from a background. I was trained as a classical singer and pianist, and eventually found my way onto the stage in high school, and went on to work as a producer and to create shows for the stage. I'm a singer, a piano player, composer. I worked as an actor. I guess most notably I wound up running Buddies and Bad Times Theatre, which is Canada's premier queer cultural institution.
Very popular,
Yeah, for 10 years, it has everything from a nightclub to youth programs to a full subscription season of new work. So my focus has been helping support the development of new work. And then in 2015, I noticed something was going on just with my mental health. I wasn't, right at the height of my career, the year that I won a Dora for Best New Musical in Toronto,
congratulations.
and actually won the city's top arts admin award, I was secretly dealing with mental health stuff that I didn't understand. And actually, I quit my job and needed to focus on health, and I started a group called, and I cleared my schedule, so I went from winning all these awards to clearing my schedule, and the only gig that I allowed myself to have was when Workman Arts, which is a real vital organization that's supported by CAMH. They work with artists with lived experience. The only thing I had on my plate at that time was this choir. I was starting the choir as a 6-week course for Workman Arts. And that was about 7 years ago. And then we went on to become a year-round operation. It's open to all comers. And that, despite all the awards and the stuff I've done in my career, the most rewarding work that I'm doing right now is with a group called the Bruised Ears Choir.
So can I jump in right there? And so when you mentioned Workman Arts, was that sort of like by coincidence, or?
No, it's funny. Before I had sort of come to learn about my own mental health challenges, I actually have a 16-year history with Workman. I was a hired gun working with their membership before I was even aware of anything that,
Inside,
any affliction. Yeah. So Workman Arts. Then years later, as my own recovery, when I discovered about my own mental health stuff, and all of a sudden I had the choir as this contract on my plate, it was a happy coincidence.
Wow.
So the development of this choir has actually mirrored my own recovery. So as the choir's gone on and succeeded, we performed, the mayor has had us in chambers singing the anthem. We performed at 2 Luminato festivals.
Wonderful.
We have a show coming up. We're developing actually a new show right now with support from Luminato, called Heartbreak Cabaret.
Very nice.
Yeah, and
that's in June, is it not?
Yeah, we're actually going to do a sneak peek. We have our end-of-year concert. So the Bruised Ears Choir end-of-year concert is at Buddies.
Yeah.
It's on the main stage as part of their Queer Pride Festival. And we're actually going to be showing a sneak peek at work from this new work we're developing called Heartbreak Cabaret, inspired by Amy Winehouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was inspired by work we did on Amy's
performer.
Tune, Love is a Losing Game.
Such a sad story.
Genius.
Amy was just on fire.
Oh, no. There's 3 recordings of her performing, just her and a guitar player at, I think they're maybe in the lobby of a record store. She does 3 numbers, and they stand out like as performances.
Yeah.
They inspired actually the show we're doing now, but she's genius.
Amazing. I loved her. I thought
she was pushed
so
like
great.
a workhorse.
Yep. They just used her.
Pushed
they
like
used
a
her.
workhorse.
I want to say thank you so much for sharing your personal, story. That's very, very helpful.
Well, the thing is, it's funny because, for me, it was 2009 when everything went down, and at that time, things were much different. Even in 2009, people did not talk about mental health. there was very much a NIMBY attitude, not in my backyard
Yep.
sort of attitude. So I kept everything inside. So there I was running a company, 35 employees, running a building,
And not
I
feeling
was
well.
afraid to talk to anyone. And I worked at a place called Buddies in Bad Times Theater, and yet I was still afraid to talk about issues around mental health and addiction.
So let's
You know?
jump ahead a little bit. And how
Yeah.
are you doing today? Like, how are things? How are things?
Things are good. Things are good. I mean, you know, as I say, I've produced shows for Stratford and done lots of fancy things, but I have to say the most rewarding work for me is the work I'm doing now with the choir. It's ripe with meaning. So every Monday I start my week. This is my life. Every
Yeah.
Monday I start my week with this group. I've programmed this choir. It's for people with mental health and lived experience. It's open to anyone, regardless of their singing experience. They can come start the week singing, you know. So it's a positive kind of punctuation, way to start the week, particularly for people with mental health issues who might self-isolate, you know, who feel alone in their problems. They can come on a Monday. They're guaranteed to start their week with their peers. You know, they can share and check in whatever they're going through. And then we sing, which is a physical activity, an emotional activity. It's like the perfect way to start the week. So I found such meaning in this group. And we have fans all over the city. It's a very popular group. Like, we're not maybe the most technically skilled, but, you know, after you've heard us sing REM's Everybody Hurts, you'll never hear it the same way
Well,
again,
let me jump
you know?
in and say two things. I think by what you're describing and explaining, it's serendipity because you're getting health care while you're doing your skill, while you're doing your talent, right?
It's a win-win. So
Win-win.
yeah, it's just a full experience because it's emotional, it's technical, it's work, it's pleasure, it's, you know, and yeah, so we do this year round. So I'll do the plug. We're always looking for new people. I will work with anyone. All that's required is an openness to sing with a group and to recognize that there are health benefits inherent in what we do and just commit to it.
And I know that, either Workman Arts and CAMH, because they're attached, I know
Yeah.
you guys have some wonderful supporters, because you see it all the time, like
Yeah.
in the TV, in the media,
Yeah.
the public,
Yes.
philanthropy. I know there's some really big, really kind people who support these,
Like
which
Donna
is great.
Slate's one of them who comes immediately to mind.
Well,
She's the Slate Foundation.
The Slate family is
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
such a positive family. And they love music, which I also want to say because we also produce a veteran show.
Oh, yeah.
And every veteran that comes on our show, like they all have PTSD
Yes.
and their own problems, but they say,
Yeah.
you know how I've survived? Music.
Yes.
Music.
Music touches the soul. It's of all the art forms. I mean, they've done the studies. It's the art form that can least be kind of understood in a break it down with our minds way. It touches us in a way that's empirical, that is least understood, and therefore kind of has the most emotional.
I love that.
It makes us experience. It's something we experience in a way that we experience no other art form.
I love it. You know what? Let's do this. We're here with composer Jim Lafrancois. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to hear all about his duties as choir master or
Yes.
composer, because I think that's very exciting. Because I've never been a part of a choir. I can't sing a lick, but
Shit.
I would love to hear some of the experience and some of the great stories that Jim can
yeah.
share. So stay tuned. You're watching Wild Child Records. We'll be right back.